Good morning and welcome to Aneke TV Sports. Today I am your one and only Good Hope Chukwuma, the Sports Oracle, bringing you what's happening around the world of sports. And you know I'm not doing this alone, I'm doing this with my wonderful, humble worldwide. And it promises to be interesting today while we have seen what happened yesterday in the semi-finals of the FIFA World Cup, where France was beaten down to their toes. And I mean, who takes the glory? I think Spain has to take the glory, and worldwide. Yeah, worldwide. You're seeing what happened yesterday.
Well, I don't know what happened yesterday. I can tell you that that was not the France I was rooting for. That was not the France I watched play. You know, played against Morocco, played against Algeria. This France played against Senegal, and I don't know how come. Spain played a dominant football. Let's not take anything away from Spain. Spain played a dominant, beautiful football. It was a masterclass. That was the kind of match you say this is a masterclass. Where they outperformed France in all ramifications. It was not just talking about one side. When you come to the defense, they were very organized. When you go to the midfield, in fact, yesterday we could see that midfield was football, where they had to take over the midfield. France did not even have, out of 90 minutes, in fact, let's use the first 45 minutes, for example. When you talk about the first 10 minutes, it was all about the Spain playing. Then France will get about 2 minutes to play their own ball. They will not get anything out of it. Then Spain will collect the ball again, play it for another 10 minutes. That's taking 20 minutes, and you are just taking 2. So before you know it, 45 minutes was over, and you can say that France has just played about 5 or at most 8 minutes of football throughout that first half. So it was a dominant possession football that Spain, in fact, Luis Fonte played. In fact, that was a masterclass, I can tell you. And Spain were just active. You saw the penalty that Yamal caused. Digny was not even aware that someone was coming from behind. They were just ready to attack anything, and they gave it their best. Shout out to Spain. They played a wonderful football.
Before we even give just a bit of details about the games yesterday, I also want to tell you that Spain was really good. They were really fantastic. Good. And what really helped Spain would be the midfield, I would say.
Yeah.
The midfield. Having someone like Rodri.
Rodri
is the Ballon d'Or winner.
In fact, Rodri was playing like as if he was still 22.
Like that,
he was still energetic.
Yes.
Omo was somebody that was also very almost everywhere.
He was pouring Omo so that they can wash.
They were ready for it. It was all of them. Cucurella, you saw Cucurella's handwork.
And you see,
for the first time I was praising Cucurella.
Yeah, Cucurella has been brilliant.
Very well.
Cucurella has been brilliant this World Cup, I must tell you. Cucurella, since he was sold to Chelsea, he became a Real Madrid Marcelo.
No, since he went to Madrid.
Yes, he was sold to Madrid.
Yeah.
He became a Marcelo.
Yeah.
Do you see? He has had to assist in a match. Cucurella is not just an ordinary player. Mourinho doesn't just watch players; he watches their life. And Cucurella is the man of the moment. And before we get to that, let's just take a look at the talking about the boxing games that are coming up, where we have Anthony Joshua preparing to still smack his opponent on July 25th. And it's going to be, I'm just announcing it because we have been showing it, and it's one of the fights that we're anticipating in this July 25th. You will have Anthony Joshua come back. It's going to be versus Prenga, and is in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. You remember that fight that we told you that the fight is going to be, in UK or US.
Yeah,
but now
finally
finally is in Saudi Arabia. And then the other fights, because there's a fight against Tyson Fury that is coming up, and also there's a fight against Usyk that is coming up.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a wonderful.
This time around, it's starting with Prenga.
It's starting with Prenga, so that
starting point, just
so that he can refresh, warm up his punches.
And of course, there's still that we read out all these things yesterday, just to give our viewers a reminder of these fights that are coming up. Everything July 25th, you still have so many other fights. Talking about the Sheriff versus Jackson match, talking about Kelly versus Agraco, talking about Susumi versus Alvino. There are a lot of them. Talking about Talon versus Pino. You also have Alakel versus Chekhov. You have Al Mohammed versus Bechel Dodge. Then you have Hikau versus Castellano. Then by down, you have Dev versus Diaz. And of course, by your left there, you have Bank versus August. Don't forget, all these are going to be live on DAZN, and you are seeing the sponsors there down on your screen. All fights on July 25th. It's almost close. We are just about 10 days to go. Then also coming up, still on DAZN, September 4th, we have Ruiz main event versus Kimba. Ruiz has been out of the world of boxing for even up to 2 years. This guy is coming back to boxing. We are going to see that big man they call Ruiz Jr., the big man with tattoo all over his body, versus Kimba. Is going to be live on September 4th. That is on Friday. Then that's not the only fight we have. We have told you about the UFC fights 335. Then also we are having Argentina versus England. This time around, it's like a boxing match, but of course it's for the semi-finals. Of course, that is also coming up. Then we move over. That's all we have for you on the world of boxing. That is all we have for you on the world of boxing. Let's talk a bit about Tillermans. I know you mentioned it yesterday, but I can't take this guy off my match for now, because this guy Yuri Tillermans is somebody that we saw.
That's the new Manchester United signing.
Yeah, the new Manchester United.
I mean, since Manchester United signed Tillermans, no one has agreed to sign any player from any team. Everybody has been holding their.
Everybody's being low key.
Everybody's just being low key, and people have been calling out Chelsea. Chelsea, show us who you're signing. Arsenal, show us who you're signing. Okay, you want to bring out who Chelsea signed? There's nobody Chelsea signed.
Why you
Liverpool, show us who you signed. Show us who you signed. And I really have a funny. I would have played it, but it's just like a funny meme where Manchester United tells you they are going for someone like Lucas Digne of France. Manchester United said they are going for someone like Lucas Digne of France, and they told the media they are going for Somerville. Why they are going for Kvaratskhelia?
No, this time around,
it's a very funny video.
You just have to deceive people now, because yes, you bring out who you are coming at. You just
everybody will just go after that person.
That's what
your problem now. You are going after the player I said I want to sign. Are you okay?
So everybody now is keeping it on.
Yeah, everybody's being very reserved.
To be cautious.
Yes.
What Tottenham has done to Man U just for two signings.
For two signings. Okay, imagine right now from what we have in the signing, rumors that are in the transfer rumors. Manchester United have also indicated their interest in Manu Kone. And currently, Liverpool seems to be going after him. Arsenal seems to be going after him. And right now, the two are not going after him again. Okay. I don't know why. Just because maybe he has dropped out of the World Cup.
Just yesterday, now everybody's interest has depreciated.
Everybody's interest has depreciated. So, but talking about Tillermans and seeing how he plays, I will tell you that you have the better facts than me. I don't know if you actually do have the better facts than me.
We saw him in the World Cup, of course, with Belgium. He was very influential, and we have seen him over time in the Premier League. He played for Leicester before he came to Aston Villa. So this guy has been what we call Premier League proven or tested. So he has played, and I love the fact that he plays where Bruno Fernandes also played. That is to say that Bruno Fernandes this time around will have resting space. He will have breathing time. It's not, last season Manchester United, they used Bruno Fernandes for almost all the matches. And if this person should get injury, it's going to be a big blow for Manchester United. So this is what they are looking at. The young man, Bruno Fernandes, is getting, older, and you can, for once, say maybe injury might creep in anytime. So Manchester United are not just playing the domestic league this time around, they are playing the Champions League, of course. So you see the future in so many competitions, and you cannot just rely on one person. Now, why I like this sign is because you can, when you are taking out Bruno Fernandes, you have someone of that kind of quality also bringing in another person that can replace him and give you, when you are looking for an assist. That's what Tillermans is there for also. He has done it. He has proven that he can do this over time with Aston Villa. When you are talking about Emery shining with Aston Villa, you cannot miss out this name. Even when you talk about Watkins, you talk about Rodgers, but Tillermans is the person in the middle that delivers those passes to these guys in front. So it's a good buy for Manchester United, where you are now having to have a replacement for Fernandes in case of injury, in case of maybe fatigue. You just bring in this guy. Then, of course, they are still going for Kone, and Kone also will be a good signing. When you are talking about Mino, maybe probably Kone also will be there, Fernandes. So you see that you now have options. Maybe if you are taking out Mino, you'll be bringing out Andre Santos. If you are taking out Kone, you can replace him with Mino. If you are taking out Fernandez, you are replacing him with Silama. So now the midfield is looking balanced. And of course, there still, if possible, they can still add one more before you now talk about other positions. So for me, that's a very lovely signing for Manchester United.
Yeah, it's a very lovely signing for Manchester United, and we're going to see what happens just as the season gets into play. And don't forget that this weekend on Saturday, Manchester United is going to face Wrexham in their preseason friendly.
Just like we're
already in the preseason, and teams have already started mobilizing their players and traveling out for the games. Yeah. Of course, the World Cup games had to shake it up a bit because some players are still playing in the World Cup.
Yeah.
But it's good to know that there are more Premier League players in the World Cup who came to the World Cup than every other league. There are about 24 Premier League players who played in the World Cup than any other league. I mean, talking about that. That's why when people want to compare the Premier League with the other leagues, I used to feel there's so many
facts that they know. It's not that they don't know. They know, but they won't want to agree with you.
And currently, I would like to also let you know that Marcus Rashford is the only player so far to have scored. Who came from that league to have scored.
Came from the Premier League or from La Liga. Because right now, we can't say he's a Premier League player because he was on loan to Barcelona. So
he was on loan to Barcelona, but it will be much of him coming back to Manchester United.
Of course.
So you will see that looking around what has happened in the league and seeing how much the players have participated, it's just class. And having someone like Marcus Rashford. Now, I will also want to remind our audience that just right tomorrow, same time, same station, yesterday, that the game was played. I'm talking about France versus Spain. Today we have England versus Argentina coming up. I want to announce it to you ahead in case we get to give the analysis. But it's going to be a wonderful match.
Of course, we'll give the analysis.
People have actually started tipping Argentina for the final. I mean, Argentina will be in the final.
Right now, I'm not sure of who I want to tip.
Yeah, currently, because you don't know, you see what football is. And Argentina, even though they have quality players, England also has quality players. England has quality players. Really.
The thing is that both teams, they play, will I say, similar pattern of football, because it's not the kind of teams that you say they are possession playing kind of, where you watch Spain versus France yesterday. Spain, they dominate the possession. You don't have that opportunity to play Spain up to even 5 minutes that they will not collect the ball from you. So, but England and Argentina, they don't play that kind of possessive football. Both just want to get to the front and score goals. So that's why for me, the two of them look like they are similar in their own pattern of play. But to pick out who is going to come out has to be individual brilliance for me. Someone has to do some magic, and that's where the Messi factor will come in. You cannot underrate this person. He might be the one to provide that kind of magic, or Bellingham or the other side. But if you say for the two teams, I can tell you they play similar football, and I won't want to say this one plays better. For me, I will even forecast a draw for that match, then maybe probably to extra time or maybe penalties. Unlike what we saw yesterday, I can tell you what I saw yesterday was not what I was expecting. I was expecting the France I've been watching to play that their pattern of fast football, where before the wingers will get into the front and either square play or give Mbappe the ball. But this time around, in fact, Spain, they should be the world number one.
No, Spain. The last time they won the World Cup was in 2010.
And despite that, they have been
like the World Cup in South Africa, and they are back again too.
You saw the way they played France yesterday. They played France like France were maybe FIFA ranked maybe position 10 or 11. They in possessions, I would have loved to show the statistic. When you talk about possessions, let me just read it out for you. In possession, they were all dominant. If you talk about the first half, Spain had about 57 against France 43. Then at the end of the match, Spain, even while winning, when you expect France to be possessive and try to get the goal, Spain still had upper hand 51 against 49, telling you that they were playing the ball. Even while they were 2 goals up, they were still the ones in charge, the ones still playing. Expected goals, France had 0.31 expected goal. Then Spain had 1.63. They were already 2 goals up. I'm talking about this is the full-time statistic now. Then shots on target, they had only 2. That's talking about Spain. And these 2 that they had, were the two goals that we saw yesterday that were on target. That's the penalty and the other goal by Poro. So they were, very, very clinical when they get to the front of the ball. Yes, they had some chances that they could have also turned in. We saw the goals that were also cancelled because of offside and the rest. But they were clinical. Then you talked about corner kicks. This is where France, of course, they are chasing the game. So they were more like playing to score. But they were not even getting clear chances to score. Yesterday game, no clear good cut chance that you say that France had to score. The one that Mbappe almost wanted to convert, Cucurella was there to block. In fact, twice Cucurella had to block the shot that it was not even counted as shot on target, because at the end of the day it was corner kick. So the Spanish team yesterday had a master class. I can give that applaud to their coach Fonte. The men he fielded yesterday all delivered. Talking about Fabian Ruiz, who was influential in that match. Then you talk about Oyarzabal, who scored the penalty. These guys were very. Lamine Yamal was not that, maybe he did not get to the extent he wanted to, but he was very influential. He was the one that caused the penalty kick, and he also made some dribbles from that left wing, kept possession for them. Then Rodri, I can't take anything away from that man. That man was very, very influential in that midfield. I really love he keep possession. And one thing I liked about Spain yesterday, the defense, we are also part of the midfield. When you see Poro coming into the front, it was just
the second goal
almost everywhere. If you just move, you will see him in the midfield, having to assist Rodri when maybe Olmo is at the front. So Cucurella was also going to the front. So France, we are at play. They were, at played in this game of football that you can say that they did. If that match could last for another 90 minutes, let's say 180 minutes, I can tell you that Spain will still, they will still be in possession. And out of that 90 minutes that I saw yesterday, France, I can tell you, if you check the number of times that they were in possession of the ball, to not be up to 30 minutes. Throughout that 90 minutes, you can't count up to 5 minutes that you say France are in possession of the ball. They are just holding the ball, trying to create something. And the Olise that I used to see, it had to be taken off. Imagine taking Olise off at 73 minutes to tell you that the football was not for France yesterday. Bakola, who started the game, tried his best. I can say he tried his best, but nothing came out. Due came in also to do one or two. It didn't work out. Kone also had to be brought in. They were now bringing the guys. Even Czech had to come in at some point. Dembele was not, the best of his form. So everything was not for me. Maybe the universe was not for France yesterday, and Spain played a better football. So at the end of the day, they got the win. They were the better footballing team yesterday. And of course, who plays better wins the game at the end of the day. There was no one thing I liked about that game yesterday, that there was no complaint. No, even the penalty that was scored, you can't come out and say, okay, as a French fan, now you are going to protest the penalty, that it was not supposed to be a penalty. The only one or two complaints that will have even gone or sprang up today now will have been from the Spanish people, where Olise tackled Rodri, because of course it was a late challenge, which we say is almost like a red card, but of course no card was given. If that challenge has gone to the VAR that they have to review it, I can tell you that Olise will have even left the pitch early. That was in the first half, so nobody is complaining. You see officiating, well officiated. It's not the one that somebody will be officiating and you want to favor one team. Let the best team win the game, and in fact everybody will be happy. France does not have any complaint now to lay on the table that this is why they lost. So you have to go back to the drawing board, come back, okay, next competition, and do your best. Of course, we will not forget that the coach is retiring also. Deschamps, that was his last match. If he had progressed to the final, it would have also been his last match, because he has come out to say that he's retiring from the French football. And the possible, in fact, the name high up on the list is still Zinedine Zidane. If France are going to get a new coach, we will have to see Zinedine Zidane.
Yeah,
so this, we might, the 3-time Champions League winner with Real Madrid coming to France also, it's something that, okay, we might see a different pattern of football in France, because we know Zidane, plays that kind of possessive football where you will keep possession of the ball. And the coach is coming to the national team this time around. I can tell you that we are going to see a lot. We are getting to see Jurgen Klopp, probably going to be the next German coach. We are also getting to see the rumors of Pep Guardiola. In Italy, imagine Pep Guardiola using Klopp there in Germany, then Zidane for France, then Argentina, of course, might still remain with Lionel Scaloni, or maybe they will have to change coach. But of course, the young man is doing well. So the caliber of coaches are going to change hands, and of course, the next World Cup, I can tell you, it's not probably going to be what we used to know. Maybe having to see France in the final. We are going to have to see Italy. I believe if Pep Guardiola is going to take that job, we are going to see Italy moving very fast, in the World Cup.
Well, it's going to be a wonderful time seeing these men, taking over the national teams, not the club again.
Yeah.
Because I feel there's a lot of pressure when you coach teams. Well, I mean, talking about club at the club level,
Yeah.
there's a lot of
Course,
pressure.
you're always playing.
You're going to play. You're
time.
going to always be on the radar. Directing, doing one or two things to see that your team advances to the next level. But when they go to the national team, seeing the track record they have already amassed, seeing how much they have done, I will tell you, it's going to be an amazing time. All right, we'll take a short break. When we return, we're going to give you and dive right into other sports. Stay with us. Don't go anywhere.
Every second, the world changes. Markets rise, leaders speak, stories unfold. To keep up, you don't just need news, you need clarity, you need speed, you need perspective.
That's why ANEKE TV brings you the global pulse. Accurate, reliable, right when it matters most. ANEKE TV. Move with the world.
Welcome back, still on ANEKE TV Sports, and we have been doing this just right from the moment the camera was shown on us. And I want to let you know that the game this evening has a high intensity to turn either both ways. I mean, a lot of predictions came in before the game just yesterday, while you had Spain was tipped to go home, and it just had to be a turnaround for the Spanish side, seeing how good they were and how beautiful they played. Of course, they had no breathing space for France, even though France had to try some shots, and also they were very, very aggressive, unlike France that we used to know. Frustration had to kick in, but it was not anywhere close to the victory that Spain had, and it was a wonderful and a beautiful moment. Today promises to be interesting while we're taking it through to see that Argentina and England are going to clash out in the game by 8 p.m. Now, it's going to be one of the games that everyone in the world would want to see. Of course, FIFA so far has amassed about 644 million views from this World Cup, and it has been the most interesting part of the World Cup, where a lot of people have been viewing, a lot of people have been seeing this World Cup. But before we eventually go to that, I want to bring our way that there will be some performance in the final of this World Cup, talking about the likes of Aishu Speed will perform at the closing ceremony of this.
He's now turned into a musician. This is supposed to be a streamer.
Yeah, he should be a streamer, but right now he's doing many things. I mean, I've been trying to sign you to a music level, so you can from boxing you go to music.
I see. But it's not be bad.
It will not be bad really, but
I wonder what you want me to sing, and I'm not good with music, but if you say I should talk, like just the way Don Jazzy does it, Don Jazzy does not sing like that. Sometimes he'll just come all Larry Gaga, he'll just talk a bit. If that's what you want me to do, I can do that. But if you say I should come and start singing for about 3 to 4 minutes, I don't know if I will last that long with the lyrics.
Well, it's going to be amazing when someone like you comes to sing, because people don't really believe. Your own will be like the Spanish story. I mean, now Spain are motivate us to have a proper look at, because looking at their story, they started somewhere, and their very first game was draw against Cape Verde, and the next game they had a slight chance of winning, at which they won. Now taking it to the next level, look at where they are. That carefulness actually resulted to something.
Yeah, that be just what
I
love the word you use. That carefulness. Just one goal so far, and they're in the final.
Yeah, that carefulness was all they needed. I'm very, very intentional. They have been intentional with this World Cup. That carefulness has been has been what they needed. Now let's go down to the main course, because we're going to spend most of our time talking about the game that is coming up just today. And looking at England and looking at the likes of players who has not even played, we still have Kobe Mano of Manchester United not being able to be featured. Yeah, it has not been featured. And over there in Argentina, there's still Nico Paz, who has not even had a minute to still play. And these youngsters, I hope their history and I hope their regiment in the FIFA World Cup would not come to an end so quick that they had no minutes to play. But they were part of those who
someone will have to go home today without playing even the World Cup. So it's just part of you being on the list that went to the World Cup, but you did not feature. N'Golo Kante did not feature in the World Cup, but he went to the World Cup. So at the end of the day, somebody will still go home today not being part of the people that featured in any of the 90 minutes that was played, or even 2 minutes, but he was part of the names that made the World Cup. And of course, somebody will still feature or finish this World Cup not even partaking in any match, but having a medal to his name. We are going to still see that, because in the Spanish team, we still have some names that have not even played. And of course, one of Argentina or England is going to skate through to the final today, and somebody will not still play to the final, and he will be part of the people that will lift the trophy and be given a medal. So sometimes he will just be present, and you might not even partake in what they are doing, but at the end of the day, you are part of the people that they are going to call champions. But looking at the match today, I can tell you that these two sides, I just look at them as they play similar football. They play just that, wanting to score. But if you talk about the defense, I might say Argentina have a better defense, just a slight better defense than the English side. But we cannot take away the threat we have in the England squad. Talking about Jude Bellingham, who is a midfielder. I don't want us to forget that this is not even a striker; he's a midfielder that has gotten to 6 goals in this competition. And of course, the man Harry Kane himself is the main striker that they have, who is also on 6 goals. We'll not forget the wingers that are there. Gordon is probably going to start today. The starting lineup is not out yet, but we are just mentioning names that are probably going to start. We are going to probably see Gordon starting, and Bellingham, of course, is supposed to start. Harry Kane is supposed to start. We are not sure if Marcus Rashford is going to start today, and Ole Watkins is going to get some minutes. There are many names that we are not sure. So until the lineup comes out, then we will know who is going to start. But the few names we are sure that is going to start is the people like Harry Kane, Pickford, and Bellingham. I can tell you that these 3 people is going to start. But against a side like Argentina, who poses that attacking threat, where you talk about Lautaro Martinez, where you talk about Messi on the left, and you might find it difficult. I can tell you that England is going to have it difficult, that their defense is going to have it difficult holding down these 2 guys. Then you have the McAllisters in the middle, and so of course the Enzo Fernandez is also in the middle. So it's going to be, let's say, a 50-50 chance for anybody to go home victorious today. And I'm seeing that match tilting to a full-time, going to be full-time draw at most, then maybe proceeding to the extra time. But let me just give you a tip of the head-to-head that these guys have had, England and Argentina, dating back to 1962, where they first met. England, of course, had to win Argentina 3-1. Then they met also, that was also in the FIFA World Cup, Chile 1962. FIFA World Cup also 1966. England also had to defeat Argentina. That's England having to win twice now, according to our statistics that we have here. Then also they met in the FIFA World Cup 1986 in Mexico. This time around, Argentina had to win England 2-1. Then moving down to 1991, England and Argentina had to play a 2-2 draw. Then we also move forward to 1998, France 98. You remember that famous World Cup. England and Argentina also had to play a 2-2 draw at full time. Then also they met at international friendly. That was a friendly match. England and Argentina had to play a 0-0 draw. Then talking about the World Cup, also Korea Republic, Japan, they co-host in 2002. Argentina and England, of course, England had to take the victory. So we are having to see that out of all these, England have come out more. Then the recent one was the Internationals 2005 in Switzerland, where England also had to take the victory. That's 3-2. So why am I reading this out? Just to let you know that England has had more wins anytime these 2 nations have met. So probably the statistic will be that England has a better opportunity to win. But of course, we are not going to just dwell on statistics. The better person is going to win today. The days that they met last, we are talking about 2005. and now we are having to see different names. And in terms of FIFA ranking right now, if we are going to use FIFA ranking, England are placed in number 4, while Argentina are placed in the position 2. So of course it's likely now that Argentina is ahead of them in terms of football according to FIFA. So what are we saying? The odds are, according to head-to-head, as where they have met previously, England has won more. Then, according to FIFA statistics, right now, talking about where they are currently in the world, Argentina are topping England. So, if I'm going to balance these two now, I can tell you that that's why I said for me, this is probably going to be draw at full time. But we know that this is a quarter-final match that cannot end up as a draw. So, maybe going to extra time and penalties. So, for me, that's what I'm using from what they have met before. England has the upper hand. From the FIFA statistics now, world ranking, Argentina has the upper hand. So if you are using the two, then they are playing similar kind of football. So I don't really know. I'm just trying to balance my own analysis and give you what I have concerning what I've seen, the data I have. England and Argentina for me is supposed to be a draw. But if you look at the pattern of play, the names in the two squad, you are having to see that these guys might have to produce. That's what I've said previously, that is, might have to produce. Someone has to produce individual brilliance, because both teams play similar kind of football. So if you are depending on your team, pattern of play, it might be difficult where one has to outplay the other. We might not see that both of them are going to be defensive. When you get to attack, one person will defend. Then after that person is done defending, he has to also play his own attack to defend. So we might have to see some individual brilliance today to get a goal or get a winner out of this match. And probably I'm just still going to remain with my own prediction that we are going to have to see a draw today, or we might probably see a draw today at full time, and any other thing can happen. But don't forget, it's just my prediction. What is going to happen today is just the Lord Almighty that knows. Then when we go to watch the match, we will now see. When you will now involve the Lord Almighty. Yes, that does come and say that, okay, I've said that it's going to be, so it's supposed to be a full time draw. No, of course, yesterday I predicted France to win. And we had Spain winning, so I'm just.
I even had to take it to 3 goals. Yes. So at some point, I was still expecting
the French side to, prior to yesterday, somebody tell you that France is not going to score. In this World Cup, there has not been a match that France did not score. There has not been a defense that did not break down. So if someone comes out to tell me, out of statistics,
I think what happened in that Spain, yes. What happened yesterday in that Spanish game was Spain. They had 2 defenders, 2 midfielders playing low block.
You see that their defense, the 4 of them, that's why I said the fact that you are playing. Imagine me and you, we are playing, and we are having to play for 10 minutes, and out of the 10 minutes, you just have 2 minutes to play. I give you the opportunity to play for 2 minutes and play for 8 minutes. How are you going to win me? So that's what Spain capitalize on. They keep the possession to themselves, knock you around. When you are now having to chase, you are just chasing around. You are getting tired already. You are getting frustrated. That's what is happening. You are getting to lose focus. That's what happened to Digny when the ball was crossed. He lost focus. He didn't remember that somebody was coming from behind. He just wanted to control the ball and kick. Meanwhile, you are still in the pitch. You are seeing your ball sitting in a dangerous area where someone is coming to attack. And Yamal that is also very fast coming behind you. You are not aware. So after so many touches, 1 or 2 touches from Spain, the ball went to the front and the crossing came in. The first, we are already imbalanced. They were not in their normal position. Digny was not aware of what was happening. He was just trying to clear the ball, and he had to kick through the player. So that's what Spain basically did to France. Tried to knock them out of balance. Make them lose focus, and before they are already attacking you. So they gave them probably little time to even play their own kind of football. They did not have that time. Once Olise is on the ball, you have 2 or 3 people there with him. Cucurella is already there with him. Rodri is there with him. Before you try to look for another person, but they have intercepted. So they were basically frustrating France, taking possession of the ball, not giving them time to also play their own kind of football. The country that I would have loved, anyway, they went home very early. I would have loved to see play this Spain side, where I will tell you that Spain will not play, or there will not be all these dominant in position, will be Germany. These are people that play possession football also. So when you are trying to play possession football with Germany, you are going to see them play that kind of football with you also. They are also everywhere. They are going to also be running around. When they are with the ball, they will keep possession. So the Spanish side might not be able to dominate the 90 minutes that way when they are playing a German side who also plays that kind of football. So when you meet a team that just cares to get the ball in the front, then attack and look for a goal. While you are sticking to the ball, how many minutes do you have to play your own football? Out of 10 minutes, I give you 2 to play, I take 8. In 90 minutes, you will not play up to 15 minutes in the ball now, or 20 minutes. So that is the tactics I can tell you that Spain used against France. But today, now that we are having Argentina versus England, it's not possessive football. It's different. In fact, similar pattern.
It's going to be a similar pattern. One thing I see in that game, I mean, talking about Argentina versus England, is going to be, there will be a lot of loss of concentration. And Messi, being the star man, always would want to find his assist, either a goal or assist. But England seems to be lacking attention in their defense. I mean, their defense is not as solid as Argentina.
Yes.
Because when you come to the back of Argentina, you have the likes of Lisandro Martinez. And fortunately enough, Lisandro Martinez has started every World Cup game. You see, he has started every World Cup game over Nicolas Otamendi. You see, so Martinez has started and he has been solid at the back, very solid at the back. Then you have his assistant just next to him, very solid. Then you go to the wings, they are very solid. I mean, talking about the back wingers, the left back and the right back, they are very
Cristiano Romero,
Cristiano Romero and his colleague. You come to the midfield, you have the same. You're talking about, in fact, Messi is just far just at the flank.
Messi is in fact, he's not even regarded as their midfielder.
He's the attacking midfielder.
Only that you get to see him in the midfield. So he's supposed to be an attacker.
Yes, he's actually by the right.
He's all those
right
Enzo, McAllister, those Celso that you see in the midfield.
Yeah, so you have these guys, and they are going to build a solid team tonight. While England, in England, you have John Stones, you have Maguire, then you have just by the next the left back. You have
that's who is good. We don't know who is going to start because Spence was suspended. I mean, no, Kwanzaa.
Kwanzaa was suspended,
so he's not going to start. They are going to have to make changes.
Another change.
Rhys James, of course, is going to feature.
Yeah.
So
Rhys James was actually used in the midfield just that last game. Rhys James was used in the midfield, and you have
Dan Burn is going to feature. So that their defense line right now is we are not sure for me. It's just Gueye and Stones. I know probably is going to start, but Dan Burn is a central midfielder. You're not going to play him by the wing. Chalobah, of course, he was injured. I don't know if he's back. The Livramento, of course, is injured. Then you now have left with just Spence. That's the Jan Spence. Is now is left for the coach now to make choices. But the person that he would have loved to start is on a red card, so he's going to have to alter that defense today. I'm not sure Rhys James is going to play in the midfield today. He has to go back to defense. Meanwhile, starting the normal midfield, he has a lot of midfielders now. Ebrechi Eze can start. Bellingham is there. If he's going to go with Kobe Mino today, I don't know. Declan Rice is still there. So Rhys James should stay in the defense. He has a lot of options in the midfield. Morgan Rogers is still there in the midfield. So there are a lot of guys for him to play. Rhys James just can't afford to be in the midfield today where there's a loophole for you in that defense. Rhys James is better to start off where he plays then. Take from all the options you have in the midfield and choose O'Reilly. Don't forget Nico O'Reilly is still part of this midfield that has not also played. So a lot of guys, a lot of names in the midfield that you can use. Just make your choice. But when you alter the choices too much that these people have not played before, it's going to really affect you. When you bring in new names where they have not been constant in the World Cup, it might affect the gameplay. You have just tested these guys in maybe your normal training ground, but it's a different ball game. It's a different atmosphere when they get into the pitch and having to play the match proper. So, but when you have no option, when maybe your player is injured or out because of suspension, you have to do something. You have to start another person. So we are going to see who is probably going to start today in the lineup. That's why I say the lineup is not confirmed. It's not by this time the lineup is going to be confirmed. When it's confirmed, you will get to see who is starting. But of course, there are some particular names. As long as they are not injured, they are going to start. I've already mentioned those names to you. Bellingham, as long as he's not injured, he's going to start. Pickford, as long as he's not injured, he's going to start. Declan Rice also is somebody that we have seen, playing the matches for England. Is probably going to start. And in the front, you can say that Harry Kane is going to start. But apart from that, I don't know who is going to play by the wing. If Noni Madueke is going to be featured, then if Gordons is going to be featured, there are a lot of people. Saka, Bukayo there. Saka is still there. Watkins is still there. So Rashford, of course, is still there. These wingers, I don't know who is going to be, featured first, but of course, Harry Kane is going. That one is for sure. Is the captain, so he's going to start for England. And Argentina squad, we are going to have to wait to see the lineup. But for me, that is my prediction, Mr. Agudo. What will be your prediction for this match?
My prediction is going to be very simple. England has shown class, having the likes of Jude Bellingham in the team, and also having to bring in Marcus Rashford time from time to do what he knows best has to do. I will tell you that England would still want to move past. We still want to move past Argentina. It's been the last time they had a trophy. I mean, talking about the FIFA World Cup was in 1965. It's been years running. So right now, they will want to lay their hands on that trophy and they want to lead that trophy. So England seems to be tipped for me. I mean, I will always go for England. Let teams that have not won it, let them come out and take the trophy. I mean, teams that have not really competed, that have not really been in the final recently, they should come and have it. You remember, it was 16 years ago that Spain won theirs. Spain won the World Cup in South Africa. Now they are in the finals. So I would want England to still come and meet Spain in the finals. Although Spain would still win in the finals.
Okay, I'm tipping them to win. If eventually they meet England.
If it was England that came to the final, Spain would win.
What if it's Argentina?
If it's Argentina, then it's going to be tough.
Both
of them will share the trophy. We'll cut it into two. But it's going to be an amazing time having the world champion to, come back. And a lot of people are wishing Lionel Messi would win that, the game against England. But I will tell them that England, you can't write them off.
No,
you saw what happened in their game against Norway. You can't write England off. England, they are possessive, and even though they are not as possessive as Spain would be, they know how to play the counter. And then we have the likes of Gordon, who's just at the flank, waiting for the ball. Remember, even though there was a lot of controversy around his game, you would see how he made assists, and having the likes of Jude Bellingham, who would always want to score. I mean, you would see the showdown, and then you also have Harry Kane, the master scorer. This guy is a sensation to reckon with. He's a force to reckon with, and I must tell you that he is ready for this World Cup semi-final game that's going to happen tonight. And I would tell our viewers, if they really want to see this World Cup, it would be nice to still check out the games. We're going to do a countdown on this World Cup on the final just in the few days to come. We're going to do a countdown, and we're going to be bringing you some updates you need to know on the FIFA World Cup as it rounds up. I'm sorry for that. We're going to be blending with entertainment a little because, when the FIFA World Cup started, there was some performances from, Nigerians, some of our artists, Davido and the likes of them were there to
Burna
Boy, Rema. They had to headline the FIFA World Cup opening ceremony for 90 minutes. And right now, it promises to be an interesting time while this is going to take place just on Sunday. So it's going to be a wonderful time. And I tip England to go to the final, and I would love them to win.
Are you sure our viewers will love you tipping England to go to?
Our viewers have their opinion. I mean, people have the opinion, of course.
I think we have more Messi fans.
Messi fans are everywhere.
I think we have more of them. So they're probably wanting Argentina to win.
They will want Argentina to win, but we're going to see what happens at the end of the day. For me, England, because how many people travel to Argentina? How many people go for? I mean, Argentina could be a place of luxury, a place where you go to relax. But I'm talking about in the economy. How many people deal with Argentina? But Nigerians are more in the UK. Nigerians are more in Britain. You have Nigerians. You see Nigerians in every nook and cranny of Britain. So that means that if they win, there could be some, diplomatic or You know,
Going to the political angle.
Yeah,
Now.
no, it could
Maybe
be
some policies will not try to favor them.
There's
They will reduce tax for
some things
Nigerians.
will just be better than it used to be. But for me, Argentina winning it is still like a Messi fan thing. There's nothing economic on that side. That's how I mean I hope I don't offend anybody. I don't mean Argentina, they are not wonderful. They are wonderful.
So
Messi
will not have any gain. We in this part of the world.
Yes,
It should just be for Argentina.
that's exactly, because how many Nigerians do you see in Argentina? Of course, Nigerians are there.
Yeah.
Nigerians are everywhere, especially Igbo people. But what I'm saying is that if England wins, it's going to be better off for the policies in the economy, in the societal, issues that will come up. It's going to, maybe things will cut down. Things will just have to cut down.
For we that, as in the African players, that are over there.
It will be nice, it will be better, and it will be good.
All right, Mr. You have heard from the sport oracle himself. He said he's tipping England to win, and of course, I said Argentina, England probably going to end as a draw, and at the end of the day, one of them will have to get the win. So this is what we have for you on this segment of Aneke Sports right here on Aneke TV. Don't forget to always leave your predictions for us to get to see the correct scores that you have predicted what is going to happen in the match today. England versus Argentina, 8 p.m. live on. We are going to come back tomorrow to read out the predictions, and if anybody gets the prediction correct, don't forget we promise to leave you with a gift that you might be surprised. I can't tell you what it is. You might be surprised. It's going to be a special gift. I remain your humble host worldwide, saying have a lovely day. Bye-bye.
And I'm Good Hope Chukuma, thanking you for watching. Have a wonderful day. Bye.